The National Convergence Initiative for Sustainable Rural Development, or NCI-SRD, is a government strategy to address the fragmented delivery of rural development services. It is organized and operated by the four main rural development agencies, namely the Department of Agriculture, Department of Agrarian Reform, Department of Environment and Natural Resources, and Department of Interior and Local Government. These four main rural development agencies also consult with other concerned national government agencies, or NGAs, partner agencies, and other relevant stakeholders on policies and programs related to sustainable rural development. NCI-SRD, as a government strategy, is a multi-sectoral and integrated approach to joint planning, budgeting, implementation, and monitoring and evaluation. It is operationalized in convergence areas based on a selection criteria and the development of a Convergence Area Development Plan, or CADP, where complementation of efforts and concerted and coordinated interventions from the four NCI-SRD agencies interplay to achieve optimum results. The interventions in the convergence areas are based on the framework of Reach to Reef. This intervention framework takes into consideration the conservation, protection, and rehabilitation of natural resources, including watersheds and rivers, while establishing sustainable and environment-friendly agriculture, forestry, and fisheries enterprises. The overarching goals of the organization are to contribute to inclusive growth and poverty reduction in the countryside. To achieve these goals, NCI-SRD endeavors to contribute to the following outcomes under Chapter 8 on expanding economic opportunities in agriculture, forestry, and fisheries, and Chapter 20 on ensuring ecological integrity, clean, and healthy environment of the Philippine Development Plan 2017 to 2022, which is anchored on the Ambisyon Natin 2040. Number 1. Economic opportunities in agriculture, forestry, and fisheries, or AFF expanded. Number 2. Access to economic opportunities increased. Number 3. Biodiversity and functioning of ecosystem services sustained. Number 4. Environmental quality improved. And number 5. Adaptive capacities and resilience of ecosystems increased. The organizational structure of the NCI-SRD is based on the revised DA, DAR, DENR, DILG, NCI-SRD Joint Administrative Order, or GAO Number 1 Series of 2020. The National Steering Committee, comprised of the DA, DAR, DENR, DILG secretaries, with the DA secretary as the lead convener, is the policy-making body, which provides overall policy directions for the implementation of programs, activities, and projects, or PAPs, under the NCI-SRD. They are alternately represented by their respective undersecretaries. The National Focal Person, or the Deputy National Focal Person, oversees and supervises the NCI-SRD operations and is the chairperson of the National Technical Working Group. The National Focal Person directly supervises the NCI-SRD National Secretariat, which is the main coordinating body of the organization and provides technical and administrative support to the National Steering Committee, National Technical Working Group, and the 4-component working groups. The National Technical Working Group, comprised of the chairpersons of the 4-component working groups, or CWGs, serves as the advisory and recommendatory body to the National Steering Committee on matters related to the implementation of the NCI-SRD. The joint planning, budgeting, implementation, and monitoring and evaluation of the NCI-SRD are implemented by the 4-component working groups. The 4-component working groups are: Number 1, Policy and Advocacy. Number 2, Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries Enterprise Cluster and Business Development. Number 3, Capacity Development. And number 4, Knowledge Management. The Regional Convergence Initiative, Provincial Convergence Initiative, Municipal or City Convergence Initiative Technical Working Group implement the programs, activities, and projects of the selected convergence areas. The NCI-SRD celebrated its 20th year in 2019 and has already crafted its roadmap for 2018 to 2030 to chart its major directions in the medium and long terms. It has revised its legal basis, the Joint Administrative Order No. 1, Series of 2020, to streamline and clarify roles and functions of the different working groups at the national, regional, and local levels for a more effective and efficient operation. The revised legal basis also aligns its implementation framework with the Ambisyon Natin 2040 of a matatag, maginhawa, at panatag na buhay para sa lahat. The NCI-SRD, with its own vision of an efficient and effective strategy for rural development towards sustainable agriculture, forestry and fishery-based economy, social equity, ecological integrity, and clean and healthy environment, is continuing to prove, since 1999, that truly convergence works.